Hey there folks, today I'd like to take a casual peek into the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood Ezio Legendary Assassin action figure set. This set is part of the Player Select line of action figures by NECA, and this set was first released in 2011. I found this Ezio figure at Toys R Us and I paid $14.99. Taking a look at the figure here in the package, you can see the Ezio Legendary Assassin figure here. And it does come included with extra sets of hands, which is kind of cool. And the figure does contain 38 points of articulation and also comes with removable blades. You got some nice poses here of the figure on the side, and another one on this side here. And on the back of the package we have a nice artist rendition of Ezio and the Brotherhood. And down below here we have the various versions of the Ezio figure. We have what's called Memory 1, Ezio Legendary Assassin. And there is also a Ezio Memory 2, Ebony Assassin. And there are also variants for each of these figures, which are Toys R Us exclusives. And the variants are basically unhooded versions of both of these figures. We'll be right back and have Ezio here, the Legendary Assassin, out of the package. Alright, we have Ezio Legendary Assassin out of the package, and this is a great figure. It's an excellent improvement over the previous Assassin's Creed action figures by NECA. But before we go into the details of this figure, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the accessories that come with Ezio. And first, we'll take a look at the extra pairs of hands. The figure does come with a total of 3 pairs of hands. And one of those pairs is a set of grasping hands, and you can see the hands are very detailed. You can see lots of sculpting detail on the hands. It's very, very cool. Even on the palm area and the top or back of the hand, I should say. And it's very, very neat. They even sculpted fingernails on there. Very cool. And another pair of hands are closed fists. One of them is on the figure, and you can see the other end of this pair. You can see more of that detail there on the inside of the hand there. It's very cool. And then the final pair of hands is just basically open palm. And you can see some of the detail on that as well. You can see the inside of the fingers, the palm there, the lines. It's actually really, really cool. And there's the back of that hand there. Very neat. And the final set of accessories that come with the figure are the blades. And they're pretty cool. They do slide in and out, but it's not easy to slide in and out. You really have to get a good grasp on these blades, and with the hands in place, it's kind of a little difficult to get a good grasp on the blades here. You really have to bend the hands outward to get a good grip on it, and you just get a nice tight tug on there, and it'll come right off. Same thing with this one here. There we go. And you can see some of the details on these blades. And it's cool that they're removable, because I guess you could, well, let's see if it has a good grip on here with the grasping hands. It probably doesn't. It's probably just sits loosely. Yeah, it does. Well, which is unfortunate. But maybe if you had some elastic bands, you can wrap it around the hands, and you can have them as throwing daggers as well. And I don't play the game, at least I don't play all of the games. I played about half hour of the first game so far, and I don't know if these can be thrown or not, but it'd be neat if you could. But you can see some of the details, some of the sculpting details. There's a little bit of sculpting detail on the blades. And there is a notch on either end of these, or both ends of these blades. I don't know if you could see it on there. There we go. And that's, I guess, to secure it into place once you slide it back into the figure's wrists. What's kind of cool is that if you have both blades out and you're unsure as to which blade goes into which wrist, they even label it for you here. And let me see if I can get it here. There is an L and an R on the ends of these blades. So this one will go to the right hand and this one will go into the left hand. So that's kind of cool that they labeled those left and right. Now on to the Ezio Legendary Assassin figure, and this is a great figure. 38 points of articulation, so it's really neat to get this guy into lots of poses. High number of articulation points. The movement range varies from slight to pretty good, and but for NECA figures, the major selling point is really the detail. The NECA folks really put a lot of detail into the figure, and this being, I believe, the third version of the Assassin's Creed figures. I could be wrong. I know there's Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and now Brotherhood here, and it's really, they've improved every step of the way, and with this third step, it's really gone into some hyper detail, you could say, compared to, say, the first one. Although the first figure, the Altair figure, is already highly detailed. This one is even more detailed and also greatly improved on the articulation. But going over the detail, just the sculpting detail alone, you can see on the head sculpt is very, very nice. You got the hood of the figure, which is a separate piece now compared to at least the first figure. I can't remember, I have to look at the second figure, but I believe the second figure had a separated hood as well. But this one has a separate hood here, separate piece I should say, to the hood, which improves the articulation of this the head on here, and frees up the head for articulation. And you can see some of the sculpting details on the face, which is very cool. And the hood is glued onto the head of the figure. And if you look underneath the hood, they even sculpted and painted eyes on there, which is really nice. It's very hard to see in the shadow, but you can see it right there. And you can see the sculpted beard of the figure. The paint application is alright. Outside to the left and right of the beard is some slight paint, I guess a wash, to simulate stubble. And they overdid it on the inside portion of the stubble area on this particular figure, and a lot of the figures I saw at the stores. You really have to sift through a lot of figures if you're really particular about paint apps on the face. And this one was the best one I could find. It's just a little overdone on this end here on the stubble part. But the beard itself is pretty neat, and you can actually see the scar above the lip on the right side if you look really close. And moving on to the rest of the figure, you can see all the sculpting detail on his, I guess his tunic or cloak on here, and this metal shoulder piece here, which is not made of true metal, simulated metal, but still the sculpting detail is very nice, and you can see the sculpting, I guess cloth type work on this figure. It's very cool. You can even see some of the etchings or stitching, I should say, on there. It's very, very cool. And you can see over here, almost like lace-like simulated lace around the chest area. Very, very neat. And you can see some more ornate design here in the chest area as well. Very cool. And he has this half cape type of thing that droops over his shoulder here. It's made of a harder piece of plastic, though. I was surprised. It's not like over here where it's very thin. This one's very thick, which is a bit unfortunate. It would have been nicer if this was thinner. But you can see the sculpt of the fold in the cloth on there. It's very cool on there. And then you going down the arms, you got the cloth here and the metal forearm, I guess, armor. You can see some of the details on the inner part of the arm there. You can see buckle and the leather work underneath the metal piece of armor here. It's actually really, really cool. And then the blades slip in through here on the wrist underneath the armor there. And you can see some of their lace cloth-like work jutting out from the under the forearm or arm guard on there. And you can see details on this palm here. It's very cool. And over here we have the, I guess, sash belt area, which has the Assassin's Creed logo, I guess you could call it, on there. It's also on the arm right there, which is really cool. And then you can see the blades here on the side. I'm guessing these are throwing blades on there. I'll have to play the game more to find out. Which was on the first figure, which were separate pieces, which could have been easily lost. But here, and like the second release of the figure, they're just simply sculpted on. I think they're glued on to the sides, and which I think is a little bit better, because I really did not like the separate blades, because those could easily get lost. You see the back of the sash here with more buckle work and leather work there, and then the folds in the cloth on the red sash area there. Very cool. And then the underhang of the tunic here underneath the belt that goes down almost to his feet. And this is made of a very thin plastic rubbery type of material, which is cool. And it's also separate pieces layered. You can see this top portion here and then the two here separated by a slit at the side and the front to really free up the articulation of the legs and posability. And you can see this is on top of the this piece here, so it's nice layering on that. It's very cool. And then you got the legs underneath this sculpted cloth type work. You can see some stitching here, very neat. And then you got these knee-high boots, which is got a simulated leather type work. Very cool. And you can see the buckle there. It's very neat. And the boot. Not really a fan of the heel though. He's got a heel on his boot there. A really great figure sculpt-wise and paint-wise. Just some minor areas that they need to improve upon, especially on the face. But a really excellent figure. Just typical neck sculpt quality. Now, going over the articulation, as I said, there are a lot of articulation points of various degrees of movement, but we'll go over that. The head is, I believe, on a ball joint, and the head can go all the way around, can go upwards and downwards, side to side. Nice range of movement, and with the separated hood, allows you to pose it a lot more. The arms are on a ball hinge joint that can barely go all the way around. The shoulder piece here restricts a lot of the upward movement of the arm, but it can swing forward and back and out and in, and it can go all the way around at the bicep. And one additional articulation point is a swivel over here that allows the hand or arm to go in and out, front and back I should say, which is really neat. And the arms bend at the elbows and also go all the way around at the elbow. The hands are on a hinge swivel joint, so you can bend the hands in and out and all the way around. And the figure does have a torso joint that allows you to bend the figure forward, up, and back. There is a swivel at the waist, allows you to turn the figure all the way around at the waist. The legs are joined at a ball hinged swivel joint at the hip. You can bend the leg forward, down, and back, and if you move the hinge joint, you can move the leg out to the side. And it does go all the way around at the top of the thigh. There are double hinge joints at the knees. That allows you to bend the leg back quite a bit. And there is rotation at the calf where the top of the boot is located, and it can go all the way around. The feet can bend up and down at the ankle on a hinge joint, and it does have ankle pivot, which is neat, and a toe joint as well, which is pretty neat as well. Also, now overall, this is a great figure. Like I said, an improvement over the previous Assassin's Creed figures by NECA, and I highly recommend getting this figure if you're a fan of Assassin's Creed or action figures in general. Like, it's just a really great figure. This is my casual peek into the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood Ezio Legendary Assassin. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.